just had to do the quick intro part, y'all. I love Victoria Monet so much. How are you guys doing? Just out here, going to the grocery store, running these errands. So y'all know, don't you pull out. I don't know why I be talking like somebody can hear me. I just be like, don't you do it. But hey, you guys, here G, welcome back to my channel. Just wanted to come and talk to y'all. Like I said, y'all know I run these errands and finally give me an opportunity to kind of talk on things. And I didn't really get a chance to post a lot this week because there just wasn't that much going on. Plus also, if you saw my Martha's Vineyard review, I unfortunately lost my dog. She was stolen, so that had your girl in a mental space that was just not good. So I'm feeling a little bit better, and so I think I want to do kind of like a new segment, you guys, and call it like What the Internet, and like basically just kind of talk about all those kind of like viral debates, and stuff like that happens. So that way my videos of like where we're talking about just like headline stuff, celebrities, aren't super long. So y'all drop down in the comments if that's something y'all be interested in, and also to kind of be like a good filler for when like we don't have things going on to talk about stuff that is the internet, because the internet is crazy, the internet is wild, or maybe I'll call it something like that, like the internet is undefeated, internet undefeated. I kind of like what the internet, but we can drop down in the comments and talk about everything for the name, because basically the internet is just gonna always bring some foolishness. And so the first thing I want to talk about is D1 athletes, the black athlete, white girlfriend. We all know what it is, that whole debacle, right? Every year when we have these NFL drafts, and it's always some old Becky sitting on the couch, and the mamas, it be the mamas that be like, right here, you ain't gonna take my baby down. But this video just kind of went viral of this mama basically like blocking that white girl out, and also just kind of followed up with another guy. He basically was like, look, I asked the black men why they dating the white women's, and essentially what they said is, well, they pay for our food, they do our homework, and they don't mind just going to get coffee. The black girls want too much, they want you to spend, they want you to spoil them. And it's just kind of like, I really find it baffling that that's just like always the narrative of black women, like spoiled, bratty, hard to deal with. Like, that is such a small percentage of black women, truthfully and honestly. And then a lot of the times, men, those are when they complain about how crazy women are and the loud, disrespectful ones, subconsciously, those are the women y'all are seeking out. And the reason I say this is because as much as men complain about the crazy women, they will always continue to pick them because crazy can be manipulated. You don't pick a girl with common sense or emotional intelligence, because then she be on to your bull. So y'all can continue to complain about these crazy women who think, oh, they can only bring coochie to the table, all this type of stuff. But you keep picking them. And men, y'all gonna stay reminding women that y'all are the ones that are giving access to relationships. So if y'all are having relationships with these women, why do you keep picking them? Why are you? And there's a reason. It's because those are the type of women that can be, like I said, manipulated. They can be done dirty. They just have a level of tolerance. Ooh, I came a little too far. They have a level of tolerance for the bull that a lot of black women don't. And we know that it's always kind of been like the stigma of like black women just not only being difficult, but they just know they're gonna get away with more with the white women's, okay? Where the white women at, And so it really is, I'm just kind of like over the whole debate of why black men are with white women and other races, because truth be told, I think black women started learning that, or realizing, having the epiphany of, oh, they not even treating the the preferences all that great anyways, And when you start hearing the treatment that they do give, and then not to mention the highest divorce rates out here is black men, white women. So the irony is crazy. But they're picking these women off of how easy and cooperative and easy to do dirty. That's just really what the truth is. Because if you think, oh, you know, it's just like, it's super like honorable of you to be like, oh yeah, I picked this girl because she hold on y'all, I'm gonna put this sweater down because bitch, you got hot in Texas. Let me tell you, I had this sweat, and something told me this morning to put the lighter one on. I didn't do it. Now bitch over here sweating. But yeah, they intentionally are picking women based upon the path of least resistance. That is something that we all learn with men. It is the path to least resistance. And it be the other women. But like I said, now black women have learned, like, go ahead, do it, because we're realizing y'all are giving them the same shitty ass behavior that y'all are giving us. And also another thing too is, it's really crazy to me that I need to close this because it's getting hot. Oh well, damn, that's the light. Let me see. We'll just see if that cooperates. But it's almost as if the black men get upset that the black women aren't accepting the shitty behavior, because society says we're at the bottom of the totem pole. So you should be happy that I'm even with your ass in the first place, is how a lot of these dudes feel. And then not to mention if they feel like they've quote unquote elevated your life or showed you something new, oh God forbid. Because you know that's their favorite thing, why they love to get the younger ones, you know, because you seem more advanced and they're looking at you all doughy-eyed like you're about to, you know, I can show you the world type shit. And so it's just, obviously we are watching the same pattern. They're younger, they're of other persuasions, but like I said, the black women within the past, you know, 10 years, five, I would say the past like 8 years, it really was just kind of like it went from a like, oh, you know, we got to put our capes on, you know, Captain Saving okay, but then it just we started to learn, like, why do we keep putting our capes on for men who quite literally wouldn't spit on us if we were on fire? They constantly keep trying to tell black women, like, and in subconscious ways of doing shit like, oh, this is why we picked them because of this. And inadvertently, what you are saying, see, a lot of them, they keep trying to say that's not what we said. It's not what you're saying, it's what you're not saying. See, I'm one of those people where it's like, I'm not only listening to what you're saying, I'm listening to what you're not saying. I'm listening to how you say it. And when you men sit there and say things like, oh, you know, younger women, they're more agreeable, they follow the plan, you know, they know when to shut up, you know, all that type of stuff, because that was a big thing, like, they know when to shut up. All you're telling us is you want a pushover. You want somebody that just shuts up and take it. And if that's really what you're expecting from the woman that you're with, then honestly, that means you yourself, you want no type of growth within your life, which is why a lot of you niggas is literally bum rushing it, couch surfing from nigga to nigga house, because you do not pick women that hold you accountable to the plan that you set up in the first place. And there are so many women out here who will literally follow a man to hell, ride with the man literally over the cliff, over that whole, you know, potential idea, you know, we had this plan, you know, conversation, you know, he told me this, told me that, and then when he starts flaking on what he said he was going to deliver to you, now this is where the gaslighting starts, because now you're all of these things, you know, you hard-headed, won't listen, you know, you don't support me. You know, when almost like when, what's that dude, Desi Banks, tried to sit there and say on his ex that she wasn't supporting him, and then she came out and was like, don't try it, Desi, I was telling you to contribute. Yeah, try to do your content shit, but also you still gotta contribute to this household, nigga. You eating and you making the bill go up. So yeah, it wasn't that I'm not supporting you. I don't know why men keep acting like realistically shit don't cost. And if you in this household, how dare you get upset at me for requiring out of you the very thing that y'all told women to require out of y'all, which is provision, protection, And financially, that's a part of it. That's why it's just kind of like crazy. But yeah, that you know, black athlete, male athlete, you know, white persuasion debate, I think black women have just kind of like phased out of it, and started seeing more value in ourselves. Women clearly have been taking heed and putting more value on themselves. Like, to watch the 4B movement happen, that's something we'll talk about. To watch the 4B movement happen, to watch, you know, women sit there and say, you know what, I would rather take the spark moments of lonely and actually be by myself than to be lonely in a relationship and be worried about a nigga out there cheating on me, he, you know, whooping me, knocking my head between the washer and dryer. I gotta be fearful of my life, have kids in that environment, so many things. And then honestly, that reminds me of the story, we can move on to that, of the father who literally offed his son. He was on the treadmill, was on Twitter, and he told his son he was fat and had him running on the treadmill. But y'all, he had that thing going, and the boy fell. He yanked him up, put him on the treadmill, and literally bit him in the skull. And I think they said allegedly like 24 hours later, he ended up passing away. But then the history comes out that this has been an abusive, you know, dad. The mom had been trying to get, you know, custody of him because she started noticing, you know, bruises and shit on her son. But we always seem to like fall back, obviously patriarchy, of this notion that it's like fathers need to be in their kids' lives. And it's like, but do they though? Like, the bad ones, like even the bad ones, like I don't think y'all understand the detriment of an inconsistent, terrible, abusive father, how that could be more detrimental than just an absent one. You know, that it's out of, I think it's like men have just decided to purposely misunderstand women, and I know why they do it, because they don't want to change. They know deep down they don't want to change, so we're just gonna keep popping off questions and you know, popping off like hypothetical shit like, oh, if I come in and I work, will you make me a sandwich at 2 a.m, dumb shit like that, because it keeps us from really getting to the solution. There are people who pay attention to the problem, because when it comes to the solution, they don't want to do their part of it. And that's where we're at with men, because women have done their part. They have started taking accountability. The birth rates prove it. Divorce rates prove it. Women have started taking accountability. And now it's time for men to do their part. But it's so unfortunate because we have these situations like where this mom had been fighting for her son and the court wouldn't give her custody. And now she lost her son, and people are now looking at her like, well, you picked this man, of course. Well, you should have chose better. You know, how dare you? And then it's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because they tell you, oh, kids need their father in your life, which makes women stay in, you know, terrible situations. Then when they actually decide to leave for their safety, then it's like, oh, you want to be a single mother, raise your kids as a single mother and take them away from their father. Like, it's kind of not really working in their favor. And so I just want to understand if there is ever going to be a if there's ever going to be a progression with men, because y'all are complaining about a world. Okay, damn, I heard you. Okay, motorcycle. But y'all are complaining about a world that is up to y'all to fix. All right, y'all, my phone is overheating, so I might finish this at the house. All right, y'all, I'm back. So I think I was speaking about basically just how, you know, society says basically, father, no matter the type of person that he is, keep him in the child's life. And a lot of times when there is that thing of like men talking about, oh, well, she won't let me see my kid, you know, pulling the Jeezy stuff, pulling the Kanye stuff, the Martell Holt stuff, it really is just it really is just, you know, those, what do they call them, those buzzwords the buzzwords of immediately, you know, having the dudes jump up, those incels who just are blaming women about why life is so terrible for men. And it's just like, men, hello, y'all keep complaining about shit that's not for us to change. Y'all keep looking at women as if we're the ones responsible for making life easier for you. And it's the patriarchy. Do y'all forget? Like, y'all only want to remember it's a patriarchy when it's time for picking people who's in charge and who gets the label of the leader. But then when we start dishing out responsibilities and solutions, now all of a sudden, you know, dudes is MIA. But we have to start, you know, holding men accountable. And, you know, a lot more women. I mean, unfortunately, there will be those few women who are going to be male identified and male censored. You know, bless those women. They are in the sunken place, because at the end of the day, the men that you are, you know, servitude, mattress made in a mule to, shout to Erica De Niro, chances are, even with you doing everything you can, he's still gonna put the expectation on you for why the relationship ain't together. And should he leave and go find him a younger woman, you know, it's gonna be your fault, because you decided to leave even after you left, because he wasn't changing his behavior, which is why a lot of these divorces happen. But yeah, back to the dad, like on Twitter, I saw that. It was just like, it's the same situations of just like, we're hearing stories of these violent men. They're violent, okay? If we keep talking about who everybody's afraid of, men, okay? If the LGBT is getting attacked by men, the women is getting attacked by men, the men is getting attacked by men, I feel like it's, put it on the flow, like it's right there for y'all. But like I said, the men are quite literally purposely misunderstanding, because they don't want to do the work to be a part of the solution. They're you know, their band-aid for feeling like a man is to treat women terrible. That's why they make women responsibility for their masculinity, because when they don't have the mitigated gall, when they don't have the cojones to fulfill masculinity and feel secure in their masculine on their own, they put the responsibility on the women. And that is another conversation. But, you know, having this thing of like putting the responsibility of masculinity on women, and then getting upset that women are exhausted. Look how much y'all are asking women to do. And then when, God forbid, women ask that back in return, it's just kind of like, how dare you? How dare you? Especially if you be financially dependent on him. How dare you? Because I pay the bills. And they love to use that freaking go-to, well, when they go to war, they draft, it's gonna be us. You know, and it's just kind of like, the draft don't mean shit, because at the end of the day, even if y'all do draft, go to war, who the fuck are the nurses? Like, there's nothing that men do that y'all are doing because women aren't doing their part. Our parts are just different, but they're equally as important. And we're noticing it's like they literally, quite literally, the government is minimizing and not even respecting the role of the feminine, when that's the one thing y'all keep throwing in women's face. Be more feminine. You know, it's your job to reproduce, and you know, that's when a woman is in her most, you know, sacred, her most, you know, feminine state, all this type of stuff. If that's true, if that is really what y'all believe, then why are y'all not creating the society or the community or the environment for women to breathe that energy? Get it? I really don't feel like it's that hard to get. So yeah, you guys, that Twitter video, it just was like a snowball effect into everything else. There was something else I wanted to get into that's speaking of violent men, and that is the bear versus man debates, okay? The bear versus man debate literally triggered so many folks. I am hoping I could be able to post the video of the actual creator of that, you know, scenario, and he explained it perfectly.
The bear or man in the woods thing was never actually a would you rather question. I know because I'm the one who started it, and I figured I'd use this tag to clarify some things. On March 12th, I ended a video by saying, if you're alone in the woods, seeing a man is 10 times scarier than seeing a bear. Someone commented on that video saying, no, seeing a bear is so much scarier than seeing a man, bro. I responded to that comment laying out why women are more scared of men than the bear, and that response went viral on the 19th. This topic started trending and growing for a few weeks, and then it really blew up with the street interviews. I never presented it as a would you rather question because I already knew that women were picking the bear and men were picking the man. My whole page is trying to get people who look like me to empathize with and understand the life experiences of people who don't look like us. So my intention here was to get men to think about why the world looks so different for women that they would actually choose the bear. And my challenge to any man watching who picks the man in this scenario is, can you get yourself to a place where you would rather pick the bear? Can you get to that level of understanding? Because if you can bring yourself to understand why they choose the bear, congratulations. You've experienced 1% of 1% of 1% of what they experience every day of their lives, and you experienced it for 2.5 minutes.
The way men sometimes bend themselves in a pretzel just to simply admit that there's bad, it's like they can't admit to themselves that bad men are out here, because then by proxy they feel like that means they're associated with it. What about you do you feel so innate to defend that man who was horrible, besides you being a man? Like, there's something with you that's within this person that's horrible that resonates for you to feel so offended when women say, hey, there's bad guys out here. And a lot of times men don't hold other men accountable because they are doing the same shit, okay? So yeah, the bear versus man debate, of course, the women was like, the bear, the bear, the bear. And, you know, my brother actually called me because him and his girlfriend, you know, were talking about it. And at the end of the day, it's just kind of like a thing of, what men don't understand is y'all have created a society so violent towards women that you know, selling bullet point that y'all have, protect and provide, that's literally y'all bold font. The bold font up front is protect and provide, but then you gotta scroll on down to the bottom and read that motherfucking fine print, okay? Because that fine print is where they tell you all the stipulations of protect and provide and what they really mean by it, okay? Y'all, and let's just talk about those two things, protect and provide. Well, women is going 50-50 with y'all, so the providing ain't, you know, that's not a part of the picture, because hell, everybody right now is broke. So the provide out the picture. It's a lot of you Negroes out here, the only way you even have something is because of the women in your life, whether it be your mama, your grandma, your auntie, the multiple of women that you screwing and manipulating, the multiple of baby mamas that y'all have out here, the Nick Cannons of the world, the Futures of the world, you know, the Stevie J's of the world. Like, the only reason y'all be having all this shit is because of the women in y'all life. You know how many women have put a nigga loan in her name, to buy a man a car in her name? It's crazy. But nonetheless, it's just kind of like y'all's selling point of protect and provide is out the window. Provide is out the window. Like I said, providing, okay, now let's get to the protect part. Every time women talk about a violent situation happening to her, the first thing y'all are doing is figuring out how she was wrong and how she caused it to happen, right? And then when it's undoubtedly, unequivocally the man that is super hella guilty, it's like there is just this notion, this just scared mentality of men to just decide to be better. This conversation can't continue to be on women of choose better. And they want, that's what it is. They want women to keep choosing because that's how they operate. They're confused that women are like, I don't feel like choosing no more. I'll just be by myself. Men don't operate that way. As they said there, you are either his wife or his what they say, his placeholder. Either or, a girl that he just wasting time with, or you are the woman that he want to be with. Men have said this time and time again. These men with mics, these podcasts, I call them men with mics. And so it's just kind of like they've repeatedly told women, if something happens, like, well, if you go out, you know, don't do nothing dumb like walk down the alley when it's dark, or like, obviously, but y'all are missing the point of the society that exists where women are having to feel that way. Oh my gosh, y'all, it is so motherfucking hot. And you know, my luck, the air don't work in the car. So this undercarriage area right here, this kitchen, woo-wee. Alrighty, let's just go ahead and tuck that back there. Y'all don't make fun of me, okay? We struggling. I had to go get my shampoo and everything because the girl's gonna get a good wash, okay? Wash, fried dye laid to the side, little silk press as soon as I get the chance. But yeah, it's just kind of like, with men, it's always how women are supposed to adjust around the violence versus men just addressing how we fix the violence itself. Oh, when you go to the club, women are having to do shit like wash their cups, put literally like cup toppers so we're not getting drugged. We are constantly a target. And men, as you understand clearly, y'all understand the threat is men because the threat to men is men. So if that's how you feel as men, imagine how women feel. Imagine what it feels like to everybody as a woman, you know, you go from the grocery store, you got your keys already in your hand, you looking around, you checking your surroundings, you get in your car and you lock the motherfucking door immediately, okay? You get in the car and you lock the door, okay? But we're having to carry pepper spray and stun guns, like all of this shit, you know? And never yet is it always these conversations where these men are like, oh, where you chose the bear, so if he tears you up, don't ask me for help. Like, that's always the rebuttal. Well, since you want to be the man, you know, then don't ask me for no help. And it's like, you're missing the point. You want to miss the point. And there's a lot of these men how we're sitting here acknowledging that there's a male loneliness epidemic, but yet y'all want women, but look how y'all are treating them. Look how you are asking women to operate and do for y'all, and then in reciprocation, look what we get. Look what women get in reciprocation to that. Y'all are constantly asking women, oh, you know, be our battery, you know, be my peace, you know, you're supposed to help me be able to go out there and take on the world, you know, and you know, be my soft spot, as you know they like to say. How do I be all of those things for you, but you not first be those things for me? I don't think that's how that works, my man. If you are expecting that out of a woman, then you first have to set that example. The hugest part about being a leader, morons, is leading by example. By example. Let me repeat that. The biggest part of being a leader is leading by example, by doing, okay? But it's clear that men have established rules that they want everybody else to abide to, in particular women, and we're just not gonna do it, which is why they create stupid laws, you know, in certain states where with consent a girl can get married at 14 and 15. And I literally just watched the saddest video of a girl. She was 13 and her family married her off for $100 to a 29-year-old man, and she's crying. He's asking her like, oh, you know, what are you sad about? She's like, because I didn't get to finish my studies. In India, like these, you know, as they say, like traditional countries, you're a child bride at the age of 12 and 13.
You put your trust in a nigga, stupid hoe, how you figure he won't